Jack Fagan, the young gun from Tigawiddy, down on 4. Gavin Much, the flying Taranaki man from Scotland, down on stand number 5. He set the pace alight in the qualifying rounds. And up on this number 6 stand, he had a bit of a sneaky look into his pen. Is that Australian? Oh, they pull some underarm tricks, don't they? Hey, they're loving it. And Tuma, what do you think of these guys? What's the pace going to be down there? Round the back of the head and down onto the last side comes Gavin Much across the shoulder and working away on the last side. Down and out to the flank here on the front stand for Johnny Kirkpatrick as well. Hey, they're pretty close. Jack Fagan says, don't count me out. I might be younger than some of these fellas, but I can still throw this old machine down. And down the porthole, he slips it nicely. What did we get, a 1 minute flat from Gavin Much, was it? Looking pretty well. Yeah, out comes another one for Martini Mason. Just 8 to sheer. Gerald, what do you think of these guys? They're hot to trot at the moment.
Hot to trot. We've got to cut them down to 12, John. There's a fair bit at stake here. And the aggressor. These sheep suit a very aggressive style, and it's actually going to naturally suit Gavin Much, the Taranaki sheep and beef farmer, but originally from Scotland and still flies a Scotland flag. So it's quite good for him. Why does it suit him? Because they're quite dry cutting, and you've got to literally grab hold of that handpiece as though your life depends on it and drive the wool off. Whereas some others have that light hand where they float it round. So they're going to have to change and adapt their style. Not saying they can do that, but if it's natural to you, you can really get it going. And there's another man, he'll be on later, and he's an aggressive sort of shearer too, Digger Balm. But at the moment, the most aggressive man is Gavin Much, and hence he's the quickest man right here with sheep number 2 out of the way. Take a look at, he is catching and shearing them in 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Super stuff. Oh, we're starting to get some noise. That's what we want. We want the crowd to enjoy themselves. Get in behind your friends. If we want to get the best out of them, we've got to support them. Johnny K on the front here. Johnny Kirkpatrick recovering from a shoulder surgery, but he's not going to make any excuses. I bet you there's a big sign stuck to his ceiling when he wakes up in the morning and it says no excuse. Johnny Kirkpatrick doesn't make excuses. He'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. As once again that beautiful pattern of his brings him around to the long blow. 2 little wee ones and away he goes. The muscly little frame of Johnny K on the front stand. Murray Henderson from Fielding. The big swooping, sort of swinging off his hips there on the longbow, really driving it off. Toomer, what's happening down the bottom there on the far side?
Well, I'm down here with Gavin Much on stand number 5, and he goes for another one. We got sheep number 4 on the board, 3 minutes, 2 seconds. We got Justin Dolphin down here from Australia on stand number 6. He doesn't know what the heck's going on around here because these guys are flying. We got young Martini Mason, he's starting to get the big arms pumping as well. Jack Fagan on stand number 4, and he runs for another one, as does Murray Henderson. But at the moment, all the speed's coming from Gavin Much on stand number 5. Round the head he goes. Johnny Kirkpatrick, round the head he goes as well. Look at these shearers, this Johnny K, he's coming for him. Johnny K, he's got the good shoulder. He's had an operation and he's feeling 100% and he is into it. Here we go, long blow time, ladies and gentlemen. Richard, what's going on over down by Johnny Kirkpatrick?
Oh, here we go, round the back of the head for Jack Fagan, just watching these guys turn these plants on. They're just stroking that cord so it hangs straight for it's hanging there, not across the door when they go to turn off. Jack Fagan turns for home and this middle stand 4, but it's Gavin Much, he's gone and he's still banging them out in a minute.
Yeah.
Here, Johnny K on the front says, I'm going to change a blade now, I'm halfway through the job. Quickly gets the new steel on. Murray Henderson's got a little bit of a fighter there. She wants to bring that back leg up and we should put it on the barbecue, he says. But no, away she goes, the back shot you. Change a blade for him. The Australian down the far end, working away at his task, but he's got these lights blowing out with the speed of these Kiwis, but he's look at the quality. Still a 1.4 for him. 1.3, 1.1. Hey, crikey, they're certainly keeping the comb flat. The outside points, that's the pen points. They're not very high either. 2.5, 2.4. So the quality's there on these good shearing ewes. Martini Mason brings number 5 onto the board, Gerald. But Murray Henderson, can he settle back to the pace? He was right with it earlier on.
Yeah, Martini Mason out the back. He'll be loving this in front of his home crowd. Left hand, you see that? Look at the muscles on this boy. He's starting to warm up. It's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk him through it. Up the neck he goes, that dangerous blow with a jugular vein as fires one in the base of the ear. He's got hold of the ear and round the back of the ears he goes. But in goes Gavin Much. Young Jack Fagan. That gear of his is going exceptionally well. We know he loves the speed shears. He's just got to put treat the whole thing as one large speed shear. That's it out of the way. Goes for a new cut now. All through the day they've been changing their handpieces around sheep 4 and 5, and that's what explains that drier cutting that I was saying. Once the cut goes off, it'll niggle the sheep because it pulls a wee bit, which causes a bit of agitation. The sheep doesn't like it, which gives you a bit of jip, and you don't want that in a big top 30 event like this. So how is the Much man getting on? He's got a bit of a dancer. He's not going to put up with that. He has an aggressive style and says, darling, this is the rules here. I do sign the checks. I'll draw the line in the sand. And this is how it rolls. He starts doing a bit of plucking. But Johnny K, it's given him a little chance to come at him on the front stand, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a little bit of ego starting to arrive now. They want to be the rabbit of the field. And talking about pulling a rabbit out of the head, it's Johnny K. He's coming at him. Tamer.
Gavin Much runs and grabs another little beauty. He's got another little flyer. We got Justin Dolphin, stand number 6. He's one whole sheep behind. We've put a sheep around the Aussies. We got Gavin Much into the undermine. Jack Fagan, run, Forrest, run. Murray Henderson, he's shearing well. He's got sheep number 7 on the board. I'm waiting for Johnny Kirkpatrick to keep coming at this Gavin Much, but every time he does, Gavin Much pulls out another little beauty, Johnny.
Yeah, working away nicely into these sheep. As they talk about the dry cutting, their wool sold on the diameter of the fibre, and these sheep would be clipping about a 37, 38 micron at the moment. So, hey, a little bit of grease in there would help. A nice warm night adds to the speed of these sheep being shorn as Gavin Much comes across the shoulder and down and out the flank. Martini Mason whips the wool off that last leg and steps into the pen. Sheep number 7 coming out for him. Gavin Much is about 3, but 2 blows now. He's in for his sheep number 8, so he's got a couple of blows on Johnny K. His sheep's starting to skip a little bit. It's starting to hurt about now. Breathe, boys, breathe as they step into the pen, Gerald.
Come on, Johnny, I hear we're starting to get a bit of noise now. We want to rattle these rafters. The Much man, the last one on the board. Running time of 7 minutes 38. You can keep an eye on the points up there too, folks, if you want to. Just see how they're going up there. But hey, look, there's no Hollywoods. These boys know exactly what needs to happen. If they're going this fast, they'll still hold the job. They'll play the ref a little bit with the judges out the back. But in general, their job will hold all the way through as the body wool starts to fly for Gavin Much. The reigning champion here, ladies and gentlemen, the first international man to ever achieve that. Doing the finishing touches, but Johnny K on the front stand's going to come at him. You're not having it all your own way here, Gavin Much. It's Johnny K from Napier. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to be first for the red button? It's Gavin Much. 2 or 3 shots in behind him. In comes Johnny K from Napier. Well done, Johnny. Good cheer. Martini Mason dives in for his last one. Oh, what was the time? 8:30 odd. Well, if the other 4 heats aren't fired up, they are now. And we're talking about heat earlier on. That is seriously hot up there. I can see why the 2 presser guides, Jeremy and James, were running out of steam, because it's hot as toast up there, Tuma, isn't it? Under those lights.
It certainly is. She's fairly warm up there. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Murray Henderson.
We've got the young local boy, Martini Mason. I think this is the 3rd time he's made the top 30, and he's only getting stronger. I think the first time he had a couple of sheep put around him, so he is getting quicker. Watch the space, young Martini. He's always improving his game, looking for more efficient ways to shear sheep. And it wouldn't surprise me if we catch him up in the semi-finals. We got Justin Dolphin down here on stand number 6. The way he's shearing down that last side, he did go the top side. Some of these Aussie shearers, they like to shear the bottom side, but Justin, he's taking the top. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Give this young man a hand. He's a local boy. Very, very good young shearer.
Still some good quality points up there on the board, by golly. Look at them. 6.7 outside. 7s. That's going to keep the rest of the team pretty honest. Jack Fagan, see those yellow figures now. That's their final judging. All their sheep have been judged outside.
I thought that was a bit slow, really.
It's hard work commentating on it, isn't it?
Slow.
Hey? I'm working to sweat up.
Okay, can we have heat 2 on our screen? Once our steps are out, we'll get our shearers up so they can have a quick look at the pens. I was told that we're 10 minutes behind, ladies and gentlemen, and these guys are pretty strict on their time.
We're going to roll them up here quickly.
Just a call, please, Raylene McConaughey. Raylene, if you're in the stadium, could you come up to the announcer's box, please? Raylene McConaughey.
All you shearers will probably know, but when you get called up, the earlier shearers, please just stand at your catching pen door with your handpieces in your hands until we get them up here. We'll bring them up quicker. We like the hype, we like the colour TV and the glitz and glamour, but we've got to get it done quicker. A good game is a fast one. We're good to go. Here we go. Stand 1, Shelford Wilcox from Muriwai. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Shelford Wilcox.
From down in the South Island, ladies and gentlemen, a little place called Kapuka, Andy Mainland. He's on stand number 6.
From Pongaroa, David Buick, the favourite. Let's go, David!
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, from Rakaya, Dr. Tony Costa.
From Winton, the wild card, Troy Piper.
And rounding it up, ladies and gentlemen, on stand number 4 from Invercargill, Inky Pinky, Nathan Stratford, ladies and gentlemen. I think our shearers are supposed to turn around and wait for the last person to get up there before they start titooing around with their gear.
Did you ever do that, Tuma?
No.
No.
I'm just being honest, Johnny.
Hey, thanks, guys. Now listen here. Welcome into the pens. Have a quick look. Just checking that to make sure the cutters are going to go across and stay on the chicken feet. So...
Just quickly, Johnny, like if people haven't been here before, we have points up on the board. Is it the highest or the lowest that is the best?
Well, they start with 0 and then they just tick a few points on. So the lower the points, the better it is. In the old, back in the dark days years ago, it started off with 100 and they took the points off, and it was the man with the biggest score won that in those days. But of course, simplified things in the decimal world. And we just start off with 0 and then we add points on at 1 point per 20 seconds. It takes the shearer to shear his lot. And of course, the average number of second cuts to the sheep, that's second cuts to the wool I'm talking about, taken off on the board with the judges up there. Then there's another set of judges underneath doing the finished product.
Also, John, I think we should just touch on how these sheep that these guys are shearing, they don't come from, an enclosed habitat. These things run around the mountains. They're wild animals. They don't like people. If anything, they'd like to run away from them. So we just need to touch on that. Animal health is one of our biggest things. We do love these sheep. Not like that, you Aussies. I can see those Aussies over there with a bit of a grin on their face.
Oh, they'll take their opportunity of giving you a bit of jip, these sheep, and that's for sure. They can bite and kick and lash and stomp and all sorts of manner of things and fill your moccasins up with whittle. But the shearer generally wins in the end because he's a supreme athlete. And we'd just like to welcome the rest of the shearers onto the board. We have 3 shearers out. They've got the green light, ladies and gentlemen. Troy Piper, Nathan Stratford, David Buick. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll set this thing alight again. Heat number 2. The Golden Shears 2016 Top 30. Okay. Hold your breath and don't keep it too long. We've got the clear from the referee. Timekeepers are good. Judges, competitors, go. Into the pan now, second time round. Shelford Wilcox from Muriwai on the front stand. David Buick from Pongaroa. Oh, there'll be some hooting and hollering if he gets through. Troy Piper, by golly, he's a pretty shady sort of a character. He just snuck into the final last year and wasn't just a little bit of bad luck with a sheep that could have well taken it out. Nathan Stratford from Invercargill. Beautifully clean shearer, renowned for his qualities, no longer a young chicken, but he still fires that handpiece and he can whip them out. You watch the quick pace of his hand. Tony Costa, the evergreen Tony Costa, always makes these big events. Look at him, he makes it look easy. Doesn't matter what type of sheep he shears. He just rips the wool off with like poetry in motion. Down the far end, Andy Mainland, he says, well, I've come from the deep south as well, and it's maybe my time here at the 2016 Top 30. Let him go, boys, and first in 57 seconds there from Troy Piper, and right behind him, of course, is the young hopeful David Buick. And here we have Richard coming in to help us out. Richard, are you enjoying this sort of stuff here tonight?
Absolutely there, John, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how they go. They're all pretty even. They've seen what that first heat's done, and they think, well, we've got to be a bit quicker. There's 3 more coming after this. We want to make it through. It's a bit of a worry. We've got 3 Southlanders, 1 mid-Cantab, 1 local lad, and 1 from the far north. But come on, guys, it's our man there on stand 3, Troy Piper from Winton. He's doing the race that they're not dropping into that first long blows. But Dave Buick, your local lad, come on, give him a bit of encouragement, guys. This is your local man. Look at him. He's starting to put the heat on. Come on, David. They all want to see you in that final. Come on. Shelford Wilcox here from Muriwai drops into the long blows there on that second sheep as well. But it's Buick there on stand 2. He drops that second one, 153. There you go. They're quite a bit quicker, about 4.5 seconds a sheep. Doing it nicely. It's our man there on stand 3, Piper. He looks like he's going to be the second one in. But the young lad there, Nathan Stratty there on stand 3. And here a couple starting to cheer for him. Come on, Stratty. Come on, Costa. And our young man down the end, Andy Mainland. Not here regularly, but he's certainly a big boy down there and knows what he's doing. And they're moving there nicely. But it's still our man there on stand 2, Dave Buick. Come on, I can't hear you yelling for this lad. Look at him there as he drops in there. Must have got a bit of Tabasco sauce on him there. He's taken off like a bit of a cut cat on these others, putting a handy little lead on him. But then again, it might have heard the Southlanders have brought up some crayfish and powers for tea. He might be first one in for that. What's happening down there, Tomo?
Well, I'm down here and I'm watching Dr. Costa. Round the head he goes. We got Nathan Stratford. Nathan's got that erratic hand, really quick hand, and he's a real quality shearer. Everybody that's anybody in the open class knows that Nathan Stratford, they need to put a sheep around this guy. A sheep or 2 because he is that clean. And just watching this Troy Piper on stand number 3, you know, for a full comb shearer, he is very clean. A lot of shearers that use a full comb like Troy does, they usually leave a lot of ridges and their quality is not as good as his. But Troy Piper, he is an exception. And he goes for sheep number 3, is it? And just looking
Number
at this
4.
David Buick, ladies and gentlemen, David Buick. Give behind David Buick. He is a wonderful competitor. I think he's won here in the juniors, the intermediates and the seniors, and he would love to win the open class here, Johnny.
He's working away. He had a good grand chance a couple of years ago when he was in striking form, but he went away to a mate's wedding at Golden Shears weekend. But he's back with a vengeance now. He tried last year but failed. Maybe this year might be the one, ripe for the plucking. Shelford Wilcox from on the front stand here, down the first off leg. 2 good shots up the undermine. Andy Mainland, another one on the board for him. Sheep number 4 just trailing the field. But it's Buick out the last leg, 4:03 gone, and 4th sheep down the hole. A little bit of grease off the back of the handpiece now as he steps into the pen. Big breaths as he goes down the belly with 3 or 4 good shots. Troy Piper next in line. Nathan Stratty starting to wind into it now. Halfway through the job, these guys just about. Tony Costa's not to be counted out as well. There over the top comes Shelford Wilcox. He's shearing away within himself up here in the front stands. Can be quite difficult, but he's doing it with ease as he strikes down the last side. Out comes Troy Piper with sheep number 5. Down there, Stratty steps in as well. Nothing in it. Costa's got another one on the board. It'll be how good the gear's going to last about now. Have they changed too early? Have they changed not early enough? The quick change. Ooh, the jolly handpiece wouldn't drop off for Wilcox. He's got into the pen. Down and out to the last side, though. Almost a sheep in front of him is David Buick here, Richard, and he's powering down that last side.
Absolutely powering down there. Look at those points up there on the screen, guys. This heat is really laying down the challenge to the rest of them. Look at those points up there. Our young man from Muriwai, absolutely perfect up there. Doing a great job. Beautiful pinky sheep going out the door as well. But as you say, it's Buick there, your local man. Come on. I can't hear you cheering. He's on sheep 6. He's already got at least one side on those shearers. That's more than 2 points in time. He's doing a great job. Look at that big undermine there from the man down there on stand 6, Andy Maitland. And there is your man, Dr. Costa, coming down the stand 5, just putting the last finishing touches on that thing. Looks very unhurried there, just casually cleaning that off, but doing a beautiful job. Troy Piper, young man from Winton, look at it. Goes into the belly there, but look at Buick. He's already into the long blows on sheep number 6. It's only there. These boys are all charging in for sheep number 6. Shilford Wilcox down here on stand 1. Still got 4 or 5 blows to go. And he'll be in for sheep 6, 2 in the pen. Andy Mainland just a little bit behind. Look at Nathan Stratty. Come on. Don't hear you guys cheering that loudly yet. Come on, get in behind these guys. They're really working hard. This is it. This is their final. They've got to get there. If they make a muck tonight, she's all over. How's she going down there, Tomo? What's happening? How's that Dr. Costa treating you?
Well, this Dr. Costa, he cleans up around the back of the head, dropping into the long blow, but he's having problems keeping up with Stratty. Stratty's on the long blow already. He's about 4 blows in front of Dr. Costa. Troy Piper on stand number 3. Down the last side he comes as well. Whoop, then there goes David Buick. He's having a heck of a good shear. Round the head he goes, and he is just feeling, it's right within his grasp, Johnny. We got Shelford Wilcox on stand number 1. Shelford Wilcox was involved in a record, ladies and gentlemen, just this last year, and he has got a very, very quick hand. Very, very controlled. And watch this young man with all the Tāmoko tattoos down his arm as the sweat starts to flow. There he goes, and he runs for sheep number 7. But it's all the Buick. David Buick, Johnny, he's having a heck of a shear.
He's let the old V8 starting to run out now. He's put the AV gas in and he steps into the pen on sheep number 8. 7 minutes and 20 gone. Lost a little bit of time on that one. It was bouncing on him a little bit. Up the top now comes Costa. Into the long blow goes to Nathan Stratford and Troy Piper coming off sheep number 7's long blow. Over the shoulder he goes, but he's a half a sheep behind the man. The Buick here on the stand number 2. Andy Mainland's got number 7 on the board. He's got a sheep put round him. Sheep number 8 for David Buick. The Pongaroa farmer. Round the back he comes and sweeping blows. He's using the whole 13 teeth. He says, I'm not going to be a show pony on this one. I can keep it flat for the whole job. Yep, the long blow he goes now. 110 mil wide this Comity, filling it and choking it and making a beautiful job with these lovely bag shot ewes. Over the last side he comes. Out the last side comes Wilcox on the front stand. Up over the tail comes Troy Piper, the closest to the paceman. David Buick coming down the last side. 3 shots to go, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on that score up there. He's got a 1.6 and a 4.6 and he hits the time button. 8 minutes and 24, Richard.
Absolutely. He's set the target all right. He's set the benchmark for all these other boys. As you say, Andy Mainland down there just pulls out sheep number 8, so he's got a full sheep to go. That'll be about 3.5 penalty points, 3 penalty points. There's your man Stratty there on stand 4. Look at him come around onto that last side. He doesn't want to be left behind, but Troy Piper, the young man from Winton, look at those last 2 blows, pushes the button. Wilcox on 1. He's getting onto that last side. Bit of a wriggler there. Don't need that. Dr. Costa's onto that last side as well. Come on, Stratty. Get down there. The time's important. Get it down. There he goes. Pulls the button and he's in there as well. Andy Mainland drops in there into the long blows. He knows he's behind on the time, but let me worry about my quality job. And Dr. Costa there. He pushes the button as well. Shelford Wilcox. He pulls it there as well. We're just down to our last man. He comes down this last side, Andy Mainland. That's been a pretty good heat, guys. One more down that side. What's he got? About 6 blows. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Big one. 4, 5. And he'll be looking for that button. That was a fantastic heat there, and that sets the benchmark. Give them all a big hand. Fantastic, guys.
Well, Gerald, I'll tell you what, this David Buick right here, David Buick.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he shear out of his skin?
He did. Did you notice the style, though? I had the privilege of just sitting back watching it. He was right on top of that sheep, right in amongst it. He had watched all the kicking, the carrying on before that, and you can't give them an inch. And David Buick never did that. He stayed right on top of it. On the last side, he stayed over it as well. So here we go. We're ready to go for the next heat by looks of this. We are They're ready to go, so are we. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with a big round of applause, Jimmy Samuels from Martin. Jimmy boy, up you come.
The Superfly. On stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen, from Rakaia, Grant Smith.
Well done, Grant. From Ekatahuna, Hemi Braddock. Make your way up, Hemi.
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, from Masterton, Adam Broush, winner of the speed share.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all know him, one of the tough boys in shearing. He's as strong as an ox, the endurance man from Tekawiti. Give it up for Tekabam.
And on stand number 4, he's the young gun. He's fresh up into the open class and he will be pumped. From Matota, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Roberts.
All the best. Right here, guys, all the best. We'll let them sort their pen. Tournament will be underway. The action continues. This Golden Shears sponsored event.
Same team, and then Morgan's coming in for Zuma. No, they do for the Woolhandling.
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic shear for those 6 shearers that have gone. So that's 12 athletes that have competed here. Shearers just popping the pen. They've set their handpieces now. Interesting tactics. Some will stay in the pen, others will get out and just psych themselves up at the door. They just like to see these young fellas onto the board. We do have a green light up the top, and that means we're allowed to start. Grant Smith, the experienced head down the far end. He says, I don't need to go in there. I've seen enough sheep. Adam Broush, come on out. That's a story. Brent Roberts, another young fellow from the deep south. Diggerbalm, the old war horse, last to come through the gate. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Thumbs are up. A little bit of hush while we set these so they can hear me say the word. Timekeepers good. Judges, competitors, go. Halfway through the job we will be when we get halfway through this event here of trying to find 12 semi-finalists for tomorrow afternoon's semi-final. It's the last on the card, the semi-final tomorrow afternoon, but we somehow have to eradicate 22. Look at him go. Sorry, we get down to that last 12. And these young fellas up here, they're just loving it. Jimmy Samuels from Martin on the front stand. He's not long been into this open class, but he's making a few finals, by golly. Hemi Braddock, the young man from just up the road at Ekatahuna. That's where it is from. And he's a fit young athlete. The old stage master, Diggerbalm, comes under the shoulder. He thinks, I don't even need a sweatband. I'm going to be going that fast. The sweat's just going to drop off me. Brent Roberts, the power young man from Matara down there. On stand number 4, steps into the pen. He be the youngest up here in the grade. Down there on stand number 5 from Masterton, another local hopeful, Adam Broush, and he pumps it down. Look at him go, the Broush man. Grant Smith, he says, just wait for me, boys. I'm going to warm into the job as I stroke down this last side. 1:25 gone. And who's the pace setter at the moment? It looks like it could be old Diggerbalm up here in the middle of the stand. Richard, he's stroking it off and he's full of concentration.
Absolutely. Old Dig had a great thing. He was third qualifier. He'll be wrapped. He'll want to make that final like nothing else. But he is the Tuakau Express. He certainly loves him. But look how pink that side is there. I may be first. The young man behind him, Brent Roberts, he'll be saying, well, if I can keep with this Dig, I know I can keep the job right. He's a fantastic young shearer, just up from the seniors in the last year or two. And this young Jimmy Samuels down here on stand 1. That boy absolutely wrapped to be up here making the final 30. Look at those big arms. Look at the sweat. They're all big, powerful men. Grant Smith, your great wrinkly shearer down there on stand 6, but he's so versatile. He just comes and shears all these as well. It doesn't matter what it is. He's like Costa. He just shears them beautifully. Bit of a struggler there for that young Adam. No, it was young Brent Roberts there. Had a bit of a struggler, had to throw it out. But Adam Broush, he won the speech here last night here. And he just goes in there over that undermine. 1, 2 big blows. Top knot off. Up he goes. Come on, Dick. These fellas are catching up to you, mate. You're not the flyer for nothing. Come on, let's see you get ahead. Come on, you locals. You're pretty quiet. You got a young man from Ekatahuna up there, young Hemi Braddock. Look at him. He drops into the long lows. He's taken the lead. He's seen what those other boys doing. He's wanting to do it. They're a little bit slower than the other 2 heats, but that doesn't matter. Look at our quality points. We're still doing it. And there's our man, Grant Smith, down there. Just pulls out sheep number 3, just working away quietly. These others have got a little bit of a lead on him. He had quite a struggle there before. Never mind, Tomo. What's happening with young Adam Broush there, mate?
Yeah, I'm down here watching young Adam Broush. He won the speed share last night. I can't remember exactly what his time was. I think it might have been something like 32 seconds, but it was enough for him to win. But at the moment, the speed share is the last thing on his mind. Come on, Adam Broush, you need to keep the bottom tooth of the skin, take all the wool off, leave all the skin on. These sheep, they're a little wee bit dry cutting, and what's happening is if you go too round or too thick with your shearing gear, you will get what we call bogged down, and you'll end up pushing. So it's a real fine line on the correct kind of gear to use, but these guys are all open competitors. You know, they're the best that the country has to offer, so they know what needs to be done. But Adam Broush, he steps up the neck. He's got sheep number 4 on the board. Hemi Braddock down there on stand number 2. Long blow time for him. We're on 4 minutes and 4 seconds. He turns to the last side. Grant Smith down here on stand number 6. Down over the shoulder he comes. He's more of a fine wool shearer, ladies and gentlemen. I think Grant might still have a record on the old merino weathers. But here we go. Down the last side works Grant Smith. These other boys, Johnny, these other boys are going to put a sheep around him.
Well, he's taught them a thing or two over the years. His quality's still good. 1.9, 1.8 outside, and that's where he's a real specialist. Here comes Hemi Braddock, Ekatahuna. He's got number 5 on the board. He's got around Diggerbalm at the moment, this young fella. In goes Brett Roberts, a bit more youth down on stand number 4. Adam Broush says, well, don't leave me out either, guys. I'm going in for number 5. Number 5 won't be far away for Jimmy Samuels as Diggerbalm settles it between his legs and says, righto, I better start breathing a bit now. I'm running my lungs dry. I've got to start sucking a bit of fresh oxygen, get that brain ticking away. Here, down the hole for Jimmy Samuels. He changed his gear on sheep number 3. He said, I wasn't getting a very good cut. Down into the long blow now. Adam Broush dropping into sheep around Grant Smith down on the far stand, but it's still Hemi Braddock. What's the time? 5 and 20 minutes gone. These guys are just back off the pace a little bit of the previous heats. Rocking out the last side comes Braddock, who's chasing his tail. Is Adam Broush down the far end. Brent Roberts is having a beautiful shear. Look at the long blow on that sheep. It was absolutely magnificent. Powerful young shearer right through the grades. He's been at the top of the heap, and he hopes to do so again here today in the open class. Big step up though for that senior to the open to get to the next round, that top 12, the Super 12. Here they go. Grant Smith drops in the pen. Diggerbalm drops another one down the hole. Richard and Jimmy Samuels coming over the last side.
Absolutely. Young Hemi Braddock there. He's going well. Lost a bit of ground on that last one. But as you said, he's a good sheep ahead of Grant Smith down there. But boy, I like this young Samuels and Roberts. These 2 young shearers. They're the future of New Zealand shearing. They're just fresh up from those lower grades. They're growing well. Come on, Dig had a couple of roughies there before. Obviously got rid of them, farmed his pen. Now he's going to go and see if he can chase down this young Braddock. As you said, the time's a little bit behind the other one, but they're worrying about their job. Your local man, Broush, I don't hear many people cheering for him. Come on, Adam. Come on, give him a bit of encouragement. He's your local boy. What about Hemi Braddock? Come on, we need to hear a bit of noise. Costa down there, dropping into those long blows. Digger, very nice long blows there, and he drops onto the last side as well. Digger would just dearly love to make that final 12. But boy, is Roberts right behind him. He's making sure he gets there. Had to work a bit hard to get that girl settled. Look at Jimmy Samuels on one. He's into the long blows. Boy, he's been doing some beautiful pink little sheep down here. Absolutely lovely. But it's Hemi Braddock. Got a good half sheep there. Lead there over Digger. Couple of blows behind Roberts. Broush there as well. Hang on, Broush is right up there with Hemi Braddock. He's beaten me to it. He's already up there with Braddock. He's the one that wants the speed stakes. I won the speed last night. Let's show me here. Tomo, what's happening with Grant Smith? Changing.
Grant Smith got a change of gear, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the fresh steel on. With the fresh steel comes a fresh cut, a new beginning. And here we go, Grant Smith, the grunter. He'll be into it. But we got Adam Broush on stand number 5 and Hemi Braddock stand number 2. Here we go, these two young shearers, blow for blow. Looks like the Braddock has got the better finish. Oh, that girl, get down the porthole, you sweet darling. Here we go, Hemi Braddock in for sheep number 8. Adam Broush in for sheep number 8. Come on, you fellas, get behind your favourite shearer. Is it going to be the Braddock or is it going to be the Broush? Out comes the belly on stand number 2. Out comes the belly on stand number 5. Johnny McBride, look at these guys. Who's going to be the first?
Who's got the best sheep for last as he comes over the Tollock? The Ekatahuna man, Masterton down there on 5, 3 shots behind him. Over the top, Jimmy Samuels from Martin here on the front stand, working away. The sweat's glistening off his shoulders about now. Grant Smith down and out there at the last side, almost ready to go in for sheep number 7. He's had a couple of sheep put around him and he's not used to that sort of carry on. But here comes the Braddock. Look at him over the top, all the way from Ekatahuna. He says, that's where I'm from. I'm making every post a winning post in 8 minutes and 40 are gone. Braddock is changing him down there on stand number 5, but it's Braddock here in the front, up on number 2, and he whips it out, bangs it out in 8 minutes 50. Well, great cheer from that young fella, Richard. By golly, he's doing extremely well.
Absolutely. Good to see these young boys like Roberts and Samuels. Look at them. They haven't disgraced themselves up there yet either. Let's look at that board and those points up there. They're right in it. Our man Smith down there at the end, as you say, struggles a bit with those wrinklies and these crossbreeds. Doesn't like having those sheep behind him, but boy, oh boy, we've seen them enough in the Cowsex National and down south there when they share the Romneys, the lambs and those wrinklies. He loves those wrinklies. Dick Balm there, got a bit of a struggler. That's just not really what you need, is it, Dick? And Samuels and Roberts there start making a bit more ground, but Dick's shorn beautifully. He's had a fantastic shear. He'll be pretty happy with what he's done out there tonight. And he pops that one down, pulls the cord there, just on 9.5 minutes. But it's our man Grant Smith. He's still there, just going one more. Roberts pulls the pin. Jimmy Samuels got about 3 more to go, 3 more blows. He'll be wrapped, this young man. I know he was wrapped to make it. Shakes his head. Don't shake your head, young man. That was fantastic. Be proud. Meanwhile, down there on the board, how's our man Smith going? He's on to his last sheep. He'll be losing a bit of time, but man, we know how well he can shear, Tomo. Is that right?
Oh, you're dead right. Grant Smith from Mackay, ladies and gentlemen, stand number 6. He is a merino specialist, but he can shear anything. He's been a record holder, and he likes these things with the belly button. Not many people do. Most people run away from wethers, but not Grant Smith. He's not that type of guy. He fears no sheep. But here we go. He's on to the long blow. He's about to turn to the last side. He's going to have the final say here, ladies and gentlemen. And just look at the job that this guy is doing on this wonderful animal from Bagshot. The wool's just falling off it. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. This is the third heat of the Open Top 30.
We're going to have a little bit of entertainment coming in for one song.
I'm not singing. Can't be me.
Good evening. I'm not Johnny Cash.
Immediate shearing semi-finals, and of course this afternoon the big event, the open heats. Now we had a great day yesterday, particularly with the wool handling. The novice wool handling had a record entry of 24, which was probably 10 or 12 above what we've had in the past, so it's good to see that class picking up. Junior shearing had a very strong entry with 64, but the highlight I think I would say was the wool pressing. We had 47 entries with men's, women's and pairs wool pressing, and it went through to about 5:30, the pairs wool pressing, and by being the only event being held in the stadium, got great coverage through this live internet. And of course this morning we have a fairly full stadium. We have a lot of primary school children coming through, especially just to stay here for half an hour to view what's going on. The wool pressing is also on this morning with women's and men's semi-finals. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Phil. And we do touch on the young children. Every year they make it along, and not every one of them is going to be a scientist or a doctor or a lawyer. So in amongst those young children, there'll be somebody picking up the handpiece and picking up the wool. So that's our future as well. So exposing them early to the highlight of the shearing and wool handling and pressing is a fantastic thing, isn't it?
It is fantastic. It's once again, you think that you ask people where milk comes from and they think it's out of a bottle or a cardboard pack, where in fact, it all comes from a cow. It's great for these children to be here in the stadium to see the wool being shorn off, the way it's prepared, and even with the wool pressing going on, that's how it leaves the wool shed. But as we know, wool is such a fantastic product that's sort of underrated, if you like, as a fabric, as a carpet, and we just like to think that these young children may become interested in wool or even start wearing those garments as they grow a bit older.
Cool. Well, viewers, there is 60,000 views here at the 2015 Golden Shears up until now. The audience out there, wherever you are in the world, whether you're in Belgium, China or the UK, we welcome you into the 2016 Golden Shears, and on behalf of Philip Morrison and his team, we are going to deliver you some action-packed days. This is day 2, and we look forward to talking with you again tomorrow, Philip, and on this 56 Golden Shears here in the Masterton War Memorial Stadium. Thank you very much. Thank you, Philip.
Ladies and gentlemen, the eyes are on her. Oh, she's used to it after yesterday. Sensational stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, the endurance shearer from the deep south, a contractor as well. Give it up for the mighty Darren Ford. Where are you, Darren? Darren's, you're good to go, mate. Darren Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Here we go, buddy.
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, from Hastings, he is the current world champion, Roland Smith. Head up on the board. Here he comes.
Another very famous shearing name from Tekawiti. Give it up for the youngster who's tapping on the door and making the big time. Mark Granger, ladies and gentlemen.
And on stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen, from just down the road, he's new into the open class, Casey Bailey of Riverton.
Go, Casey.
Well, the times have been set. These last 2 heats. They'll be thinking about it out there in the changing sheds, psyching themselves up. Let's get the first one out in around about 58 seconds, they'll be thinking. Pick a nice, beautiful, open sheep. Settle into the job. Do a couple of little ones that are a little bit tighter. And then coming home with a rush on the best ones of the pen.
Bag shot of the sheep suppliers, John.
Yes, they've been at the Golden Shears for a long, long time. Bag shot, of course, Ken McPherson, the manager out there. Beautiful line of sheep. He said, I heard him say today that things are just starting to get a little bit dry, but still got a little bit of food about. Okay, we've got a green light, gentlemen. Just as soon as we can have you on the board, we will get you underway. A little bit of pressure on, of course. 8 sheep to shear again. Next time they're on the board tomorrow, some of these fellas will be shearing 10. And then we step it up to 20 for the final.
Shearers to the board, guys.
Okay, ready to go, stand 4. Casey Bailey, please. You'll get hurt in there, young fella. That's the story. Okay, well, let's set these guys alight. 6 grand athletes. Let's go. Timekeepers good. Judges. Competitors, go. In they bounce. Axel Reed, powerful young shearer from the Thai Habbies, used to shearing big, strong sheep from the region he comes from. Darren Ford, he is evergreen. This fella just doesn't know when to quit. And he'll whip the wool off these young mothers very precisely. Mark Granger, Tika Woody. Sean through the grades, been in the Open now 5 or so years. And he's starting to make a few finals, chasing the heels of the big boys. Maybe this could be his season, who knows? Casey Bailey, sure very well into the qualifying rounds here. Was top of the heat there at one stage, qualified about third way down. And he rolls it up the long blow, the young Sheila from Riverton. Down there, Rolly Smith. By golly, Inspector Gadget, we call him. He rolls out that last leg. Look at him, he's just arms and legs and everything, and he's going to bounce it out. And let's see what sort of a time. Oh, the clock's not up. Down he goes, into the pen, about to step now. Tamania from Gisborne. Oh, his cord's gone around the door. Yeah, that's what I say, just stroke the cord down. That's one of those little intricate parts of shearing. Don't rip the cord, just stroke it down so it's still hanging in place when you go to find it again. Up the top now comes Rolly Smith. Axel Reed says, righto, I'm going to go hard too here on the front. Mark Granger's got one that's starting to dance on him. Darren Ford settles into the job. Powerhouse man, he can rip 760 odd ewes out this fella. Absolutely no effort at all. Well, a little bit of effort, but there's certainly a grand feat. Mark Granger stepping away now. Great quality shearer, we've talked about him. Morgan, are you enjoying here the Golden Shears and into this Open top 30?
Oh, isn't this exciting, Shearing? We've got a lot of raw talent up here. Roland Smith has set the early pace. He's coming out the last side on a second sheep. Axel Reed's only half a blow behind. He bounces in there with him, but Rolly's ripping the belly off. Casey Bailey's coming down that last side now. He's in the pen for sheep number 3 as well. Rolly's stretching out to a good lead. But Darren says, I'm not too worried. I've got the experience to catch you up. You will do well to put a sheep round me. Out comes Tamania. He's picked his pen well. He's getting rid of the big ones first, and he's saved a nice little sheep for last. 3 sheep on the board for Casey Bailey. The third one comes out now for Mark Granger from Tikuri, and he rips the belly off. But all the action, all the early pace was of Roland Smith. Look at that man go. He's cool, calm and collected. He's precise. Every blow goes exactly where he wants it. Nothing stops that handpiece. Look at it flow through the wool. He's just flowing away now. He's building a bit of rhythm, and he's going to get faster as he goes. Just on a minute per sheep. 3 minutes gone, and he's got his 4th sheep on the board. Look at him go, Richard.
Absolutely. What a great heat we got up here. You could see 3 or 4 of these guys easily into the final, if not all of them into that top 12. Axel Reed, the young man here on stand 1 from Taipi. I believe his sister won the novice here yesterday. But there's your man, Darren Ford from Invercargill, goes in for sheep number 4. But Rolly Smith already up round behind the ears there. But that man, Tamania, look how fast that hand goes down there. It's like lightning. You can hardly see it move. It's so quick. He's back. You wonder again. Mark Granger, young man there. He'll be hoping he shears like he saw at Pukekohe a couple of weeks ago. Rolly Smith had 5-6 points on him in time. But in the end, Rolly only won by 1.5 points. So he can certainly do the quality. Can young Mark there on stand 3. Casey Bailey flips the top knot off there. By crikey, there's not much between stands 3 and 4. But look at Darren Ford there on stand 2. Look at that. The man from the deep south. What an Iron Man he's been. But Rolly Smith, that sheep number 5 out there. I can't quite see the time. I think it's about 5 and 11. But he's going great guns. Look at the quality points down there in the corner of that thing. But there's Darren Ford. 2 more blows and he's in for sheep number 5. He's made up a bit of ground on Smith there. Come on, John, what's happening with Ford? Changing a handpiece.
Oh, he's halfway through the job. You see, he wants that fresh cut. Brings out sheep number 5 now. Pinky there. Mark Granger says, my gear's going right. I'll just wipe a bit of grease off the back of the comb. Casey Bailey out the last leg on stand number 4. Smith on 5 comes across the shoulder on the last side. Down on the bottom end there, we get near rocking off the long blow. What have we got? Sheep number 5 almost shorn from him as he comes across the money side of the sheep. But it's Inspector Gadget. Rolly Smith out the last leg and down the porthole he goes. He wouldn't be pleased with the way he qualified into this event. And by crikey, he's going every hard now. Look at the board up there on the top. We got 1s and 1.3s and 4s and a bit out the back. Everything seems to be going pretty well at the moment as Axel Reed steps into the pen. Sheep number 6 for him. Up over the last side comes Darren Ford. 2-3 shots to go and he's going to be bouncing in. And that fresh gear seems to be working a little bit better for him. Mark Granger under the shoulder. Thinking about maybe he should have changed, I don't know. A little bit of colour starting to come on top of the sheep there. Over the top now for Casey Bailey. Riverton under the shoulder and out and down to the flank. He worked it out. He said, I just went one sheep too far, did Mark Granger. And he steps into the pen. I want that inky pinky cut again. He brings out a beautiful little young sheep. Not so little, of course, she'd be about 65 kilos. And that's empty bellied. Down the first off leg. Ripping the big shots and down to the undermine now. Right up over the tail. Shortens up that last side. Shortens up the long blow. Those big shots up towards the shoulder. In comes another one. Number 7 on the board there. Looking pretty good. Morgan is about to step in the pen for number 7.
6 minutes and 20 seconds gone and Roland Smith takes a top knot off his 7th sheep. Only one more in the pen looking at him. He's just getting quicker. He's still got a bit in the tank though. He only did what he needed to do to make this top 30. He knows he's going to get a lot quicker yet. They're going to be down under that 15 minutes in the final. So that's well under a minute a sheep. They're all averaging about a minute at the moment. Darren Ford comes out to leg the first leg into the undermine. He goes, big sweeping blows, almost hits his toe. Away he goes now. Mark Granger bounces in the pen. Sheep number 7 on the board. Roland Smith, he's just cruising ahead. Look how clean those sheep are going out. Not a spherical wool, not a ridge, not a line, not a cut on them. They're beautifully shorn. It's a beautiful demonstration from a big man. Casey Bailey, the young gun, he's right there with him. He's coming away now. He says, you're not putting a whole sheep around me. But off he goes. Here goes Rolly. Top knot off on sheep number 8. Tamania comes down the last side on his 7th sheep. And he'll have number 8 with him. It's going to be a race for 2nd place. Here comes Axel Reed, Tama. Don't let him catch you. Quick change of steel for Axel Reed, Richard.
Absolutely there. Man, that young Casey Bailey's a fantastic little shearer. Look at his points there. I'm really impressed with some of these new young guys up into the thing. And that Tamanania down there, man, I just love how quick that hand is. How many sheep could these 6 shearers shear in a 9-hour day if you let them go? You'd run out of sheep in your thing. But look at Rolly Smith. There you go. 2 more blows and he'll be looking for that cord. There you are, 8 minutes flat. That's what you go for. Well done there, Rolly. But there's Casey Bailey. Just a couple of little blows in there and he'll be in for us. He'll be in for his next one. Mark Granger there. Didn't quite get one round him from Rolly Smith. He knows that's 3 points, but I can handle that. Darren Ford sneaks off down that last side. He knows where he goes. And there's Axel Reed, the young man from Taiapi there. Look, just pulls off the top. He's a real worker, this lad up here. But look at that young near. Just look at that little hand there going. It's really quick as he goes down there. Look at Mark Granger go there. How pink is that there, John?
Yeah, certainly not leaving a whisker on. You get it off that one. Over the last shoulder as Axel Reed finds the porthole with sheep number 8. Casey Bailey's got the last side to complete as Mark Granger tries to make up for a little bit of lost time. He knows he's going to be close to 3 points behind Rolly Smith in time. But let's hope the quality says, let's hope my quality's going to hold me in there. Here comes young Casey Bailey. He's doing all right. He's only got a 1.5 on the board and a 5.5 out the back at the moment. So that's a brilliant shear from this young shearer. Beautiful round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is heat number 4.
Does it ever get boring, Tuma? How many years have you watched shearing shows?
Well, I tell you what, these young guys, this Casey Bailey, what a wonderful shear he had. His first season up in the Open.
Yeah, great. Even to have a mature enough head to hold it together when you're mixed with that sort of company. He will take all that knowledge and experience away from there, and it will just be so much better for him in the future.
We're just going to have a bit of change of wool fadges.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a bit of a change of wool fadges here. Get some fresh fadges. These guys are pumping these sheep through fairly quick, and these wool handlers are struggling to keep up, Gerald.
Once again, the wool handlers do a fantastic job. They go and sit out of their way, they volunteer all their time, and they come up here and they try to keep out of your view as much as they possibly can, so it won't do any harm. We're good now, we've got the seats out, we're not going to muck around. Ladies and gentlemen, take note, Masterton, it is your man, he is a speedster, Parada Abraham on the job, ladies and gentlemen.
On stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen, from Kaitangata in the South Island, Angus Moore.
Way to go, Angus. From Alexandra, the old master. He's still got it, a master blaster, Dion Morell.
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, he was second here last year in the Open class. He wants to go better than that. From fielding, Aaron Haynes, ladies and gentlemen. Muscles on muscles.
He's won this event before. He has shorn 866 lambs in 9 hours. He is from Hastings. You know who he is. Give it up for Dion King, ladies and gentlemen.
And on stand number 4, from Tuako, Sam Welch, ladies and gentlemen. He wraps up this heat. Give him a hand. These are your shearers.
So we have a couple of old stages here in this one. Alexander's Dion Morell lived for many a year in Masterton. Dion King from Hastings, been there, done that. He's been a previous winner. Then we got the young guns. The young guns of Parada Abraham, Sam Welch. Well, Sam's not so young, he's a record holder himself. Aaron Hayes from up the road and fielding, Angus Moore from across the water in Ward, Kaitangata. Interesting stuff. Pace is going to come from where? Dion King, Parada Abraham. Aaron Haynes will settle into the job and then he'll come with a rush. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Heat 5, the last of these top 30 shearers that are performing for us this evening. Next chance they'll get will be cut down to 12 tomorrow afternoon. So as soon as we can have these great athletes onto the board, we will set them alight and we will enjoy another 8 to 9 minutes of top quality sportsmanship. They'll shear these wild animals. Okay, gentlemen, we've got 2 out, all out. You don't want to upset those pen staff. Those Taratahi students have been working away here for 2 days now. We need them to stay another day. Okay, we got the thumbs up, the green lights on. Timekeepers are good. Judges, competitors, go. Into the pen for the 5th and final time. These 6 powerful young men, or some with a little bit of experience on them as well. Parada Abraham's from Masterton. He's bound to lead the way, I would think. Dion Morell, a very experienced competitor, complete. You watch him glide across his sheep, this young fella. On stand number 2, On number 3, Dion King. He knows how to whip it in big and hard. He had a pretty good year last year, won the New Zealand champs. Hey, this is 2016 at Masterton. Did he get it again? Sam Welch on the stand number 4 from Tuakau. Contractor from up there, a world record holder. He's now a movie producer as well, they tell me. Over the shoulder on the last side is Aaron Haynes from Fielding. We know he can do it, or almost did it last year by just the finest of margins. He came second. And Angus Moore, a young and up-and-coming shearer from across the straight. When he's striking hot, he can really rip it off, and he's got the attitude to make it through to the next round, this young fella down on stand number 6. Well, Morgan, hey, the top shear last time round. These guys have got it really laid out in front now. They've got to leave everything on the board.
Oh, look at that Pairata Abraham go. He is just poetry in motion. The local lad, he bounces it. He's got the first one out for his second sheep, and he's going to be the first one in for his third one too. He's setting a quick pace here. 1:38 gone as he turns to the last side now. Coming over his shoulder and down the flank, he's starting to flow. The sweat's starting to bead. He's warming up already. Up in those lights. He's got a lot of rhythm, this bloke. You should see him on the dance floor. But up here is where he really shines. Sheep number 3 on the board. Not even 2 minutes gone. He's picked the pen a bit. He's getting a big one out of the way now. In goes Dion King. He's chasing your pie. He's breathing down your neck. And Dion Morales drops his sheep as well. Record holder for Mart. He's famous on his TV ads as well. He's a good supporter of rugby. Here he for World Renata Abraham. He's punching in, dropping into that flank now. The first shoulder comes off and he's going to step over. 2:31 gone. Here we go, Pai. Kushler's right by the stage cheering you on. Come on, Pairata, she's saying. Dion Morel comes up the neck. Dion King turns. He's a 3 or 4 blows behind you, Pai. You've got this. What do you reckon, Richard?
Absolutely. This is the last chance. This is the last heat. And look at Dion King on stand 3 coming down that last side. Like the second hand on a clock, but he's a bit quicker than the second hand. Look at him go. Pairata Adium might be about 3 blows in it. Aaron Haynes had a real struggler, a couple of sheep back, set him back quite a bit. He comes down that last side as well. Angus Moore gets a struggler, loses a blow or 2, keeps it going. Sam Welsh, not exactly the Bowen method, but that's what you need when you've got to get the wool off. Come on, Sam, keep it on for Tuakau. And that man, the master there, Dion Morel, he's shown an awful lot of things, had a lot of records a few years back, but it's still doing it. And look how he popped that sheep out, keep it under control, do the job. Look at the points on the board. But Dion King, look at him, he looks to have just got the wind in his sails. I think he's ahead of a Pairata by 3 or 4 blows here. Bit of a kicker for more down the end there. Not really what you want when you're chasing. But Dion King onto that last side. Look at him there. The big tattooed arms holding onto those things. But Pairata Abraham there on stand 1. Just because you've got round with me, King, I can go as well. Haynes in round here there on stand 5. A real little feisty one as Angus Moore got down. Boy, he'd like to stick that damn thing on the barbecue, I bet. Come on, you Masterton folks. Get him behind Pairata here. Changes his handpiece on 4. Dion King's already into 5. Sam Welsh on 4, coming down over that last leg. Come on, John, this is getting tight. What do you reckon?
Oh, look at King. He's just starting to open up. The further he goes, the better he goes. The better he goes, the better he likes it. And he's ripping up the neck. Over top of the skin, I might add, not under it. But Pairata Abraham says, you're not getting away from me, Mr. King. You're not going to be king here tonight. I'm pumping up here on the front stand. 14 time points are gone there. Look at him go. 4 minutes and 47 seconds. That equivalates to 1.4 on the board, 3.3 in the pen. The very low scores. Dear Morel, look at that score for him up there on the board points. He's got sheep number 5 on the board. He's no slouch. He's making it look easy. Gliding across that first off leg. 2 good shots up over the tail. 2 over the top. Opens up the neck now for the judge to peer in. He'll change a steal now for Dion King. Angus Moore flicks the belly out the back on sheep number 5. King goes in for number 6. Pairata Abraham for 6 as well. Down there, Aaron Haynes says, well, don't count me out. I've hit the money side of the sheep on 5. Sam Welch is starting to settle into the job. He's had a couple of Wrigley tarts and he's said put a little bit of authority on him now and drops another one down the porthole. Up the top comes Dion Morel working off that last shoulder. Half combing just under the shoulder blade and down and out the flank. He chokes those 13 teeth again. Right out the last leg. Morgan, he's making it look easy. Ooh, that little girl just gives a bit of a squirt here and going to cost him a couple of shots.
Pirata says you can make it look easy, but I'm making it look quick and good. He's got the artwork on his arm and he's got the muscles underneath it. Here he comes, coming down the last side now. He's caught those couple blows up on Dion King. Under the leg they go together. Ooh, Dion's half a blow ahead. Come on, Pi, full that comb up. Punch out that leg straight. Here we go, get that last little sock. But Dion King's in the pen first. Here comes Pirata. Sheep number 7 on the board. Sam Welch has got it, finishing off his 6th one. Where's he come from? He's coming down the last side now. He's within striking distance, Dion. Dion Morel's dropping into the shoulder on his 6th sheep. The flank comes off, his sweat starting to drip. Here comes Aaron Hayne down the last side. Sheep number 6 on the board. He's going to have 7 out, but it's all the man on stand number 1. He's ahead by half a blow. Come on, Pirata. Your whole family's here cheering on. All of Masterton's cheering on. You fooled Dion. You're giving the lead back and forth here. I think Dion's going to turn first. 7 minutes, 4 seconds gone. And as the 7th sheep, they're going to drop down now, Richard.
Absolutely. I thought you said Pirata was ahead. I can't hear Chrysler cheering. Come on, you Masterton folks. Get in behind him. Come on, Pirata. But it's Dion King. Looks like he might have it by a blow. No, it's your local man. Come on. One more sheep in the pen. This is the last one. 7.5 minutes. Come on, guys. Come on, a little bit of courage. As you say, Sam Welsh there just cleans off that front leg, heads off down that last side. He'll be great to flick that one out and get the last one in the pen. Aaron Haynes been slowly making up ground down there on stand 5. Look at him go. Just a couple of blows. Welsh is in for his 8th and final. Haynes is in for his 8th and final. There's only Morel and Moore, the 2 boys from the South Island there that have still got to get that 8th sheep. But who is it? Is it King or is it Abraham? King or Abraham? Come on. I don't hear you folks screaming for them. Come on. Looks like it could be Pirata Abraham that turns first. But boy, there's only half a blow in it. Don't wriggle, sheep. Don't move. I'm coming. Here it is, Dion King. He pulls that leg up first and does it. He's caught that blow back. Come on, Pirata. Come on. Come on, Dion. Who's it going to be? King, Abraham. King, Abraham. I think we might just have to give it to Abraham. Well done. Give him a hand, folks. What did you think of that, John?
8 minutes and 30 seconds. Pretty much splitting hairs over those two. Stands 1 and 3, Pirata Abrahams and Dion King. But don't count the rest of these fellas out. There's still quality shearing to be done. Aaron Haynes down and out the last leg. Sam Welsh out the last leg. Dion Morel to the last side on sheep number 8. 1.5 there for Angus Moore to come off. And his quality on the board, that's pretty good as Aaron Haynes comes in a couple of blows short of our man Sam Welsh on number 4. Out the last leg for Dion Morel, a very experienced man. He gets the button. Angus Moore's got about 7 or 8 shots to come under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. Beautiful shearing from this young fella from across the straight at Kaitangata. Out the last leg, moving his sheep with every blow. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for those 30 top shearers here at the 2016 Golden Shears. Well, right about now, we're going to cross to our interview room. We're going to introduce Coro Mullins and Kieran McNulty, and they're going to come on stream and give us a little bit of info. Here they go.
Kieran McNulty, welcome to the studio here at the 2016 Golden Shears. Wow, geez, haven't we had some action-packed action for the last 2 days? It's been fantastic, and the top 30 have just had their shootout. So, Kieran, you're our MC, and you also wear another very important hat, and that's looking after the TAB side of things. So, from the TAB's perspective, how's it looking?
Yes, well, of course, that was a very interesting top 30 because there were a few blokes in there that just squeaked into the top 30. We opened them up at around about $81, $101, and here they are being one of the top qualifiers. The likes of Casey Bailey,
Yes.
he certainly caught the eye, Dion King, but don't forget the likes of David Buick, the local favourite. He was very impressive, but for me, from what we've seen, you can't go past Roland Smith.
Oh, he's the top horse, but I believe there might be a half a dozen Wairarapa boys in this top 12 tomorrow afternoon.
It'd be great to see, wouldn't it? Certainly good for the local crowd. But I know something that will get the crowd going tonight, and that's our next event after the entertainment, the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling Test. We do have odds on that, and I can tell you, Kuro, New Zealand are $1.20 favourites, Australia at $4. But here's the thing, we've actually had twice as much money on Australia at that $4 price than we have had on New Zealand. So there's only about 10 minutes left to go to get your bets on. There is a terminal in the foyer of the stadium, and for those who are online, of course you can go on tab.co.nz. I'll give you that time to go and place your bets. In the meantime, I think here's some entertainment.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Karen McAnally.
This is a song you can sing, and that's why we expect you to. I know you're all fine voiced people. Might need a bit of volume on this guitar there, Mr. Audio. We're on a train ride here, ladies and gentlemen. Need you to be a little hushed so you can hear the story. It's one you've heard before, and that's why I'm pretty confident that you'll be singing with us. On a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns at staring out the window at the darkness till the boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces for a taste of your whiskey. I'll give you some advice."
Well, viewers, welcome back to the 2016 Golden Shears here on a Friday cabaret night at the Golden Shears War Memorial Hall here in Masterton. And our special guest in the studio this evening is Mr. Doug Lang. Mr. Doug Lang is the Publicity Officer for Shearing Sports New Zealand. And there's a couple of things we just want to ask Doug at this stage, but we're going to hand it across to Doug, and he's a stats man. And Doug, we've just seen the top 30. You've talked a little bit about just off air on the way you see it, but there's a lot of Wairarapa boys that are right amongst it, isn't there?
Exactly, there's a gravitation of shearers to Wairarapa this season, so 2 or 3 that have actually moved into the area and living here regularly. So at the moment we will obviously see David Buick, should be in that top 12, but there's other guys like Adam Broche, he's sure pretty well, and I'd expect him to be in that 12 in a few moments when it's announced. Pirate Abraham probably just a bit off the pace. Casey Bailey's done a lot of shearing around here in Wairarapa, comes from Riverton down in the South Island. It was a remarkably good shear, but he was a very good senior shearer a couple of years ago and looked at that time like the sort of guy that would make the progress quickly into the open ranks. Apart from those, we're probably looking, Casey will be, I guess, the longer shot to be into that top 12. The rest of the places I expect to be pretty much as expected.
The Golden Shears' current champion is a Scotsman, Gavin Mudge, and boy, did he shear well tonight, didn't he?
Exactly, Gavin's extremely focused. I suspect myself that tomorrow night he's absolutely determined to come away with 2 titles tomorrow night. The Golden Shears Open final, perhaps particularly the PGG Wrightson National Circuit. That'll absolutely establish him as a sort of a number 1 around these parts. Whether there's any doubt, it's just simply because he's not officially a Kiwi, I don't know. It may not be so politically correct.
He's got a kilt in his cupboard.
Exactly, and I know how much Gavin's out to really prove everything to everybody. Pretty tough nut to crack in Roland Smith, who's only been beaten once in 15 finals this year. He's actually had 30 finals dating back to his last Golden Shears Open win in 2014, and that time he's also won the World Championship, but he's had 30 finals in that time and won 27 of them.
Wow. Well, all those folks are 12,000 miles away in Scotland. He comes from a place called Aberdeen in Scotland. We welcome you viewers there. If you've still tuned into the Golden Shears here, the guy to beat is Roland Smith, isn't it? You've just touched on how many wins he's had. There's nobody that looks like they could challenge him, is there?
Indeed, he did right this afternoon, and he made his way into the top 30 in 18th place. He sort of commented briefly afterwards. Hopefully that was the bad cheer out of the way. Certainly established tonight that he's quite superior, I'd imagine, when we see those final points pop up shortly. It's really it's pretty much a case of who's coming second, otherwise it doesn't often happen with a guy like Rowley. But it'll be Rowley that loses it rather than the others winning it.
It's Rowley's to lose, is what you're saying. Well, viewers, thank you very much for taking part. We're going to go across now to some really good entertainment. Thank you very much. All good?
Eyes that look like heaven, lips like cherry wine. That girl can sure enough make my little light shine. I get a funny feeling up and down my spine.
And this is you've had 3 in a row, and my understanding there's never been a 4th one in a row. So how are you feeling at this time?
Yeah, we've just finished the Open Woolhandling Heats Koro, as you know, and yeah, it's pretty good. The fleeces are really good. There's you know, a lot of work in them, but you know, hopefully we did enough.
Oh, just going back to those fleeces, Joel, they looked a real challenge. They just broke up, but I saw you there and you did them well. But your cleanup was exceptional.
Yeah, well, you know, you had to sort of pull back something, so for me it was the board points, the board and the time, to try and get back, and hopefully my outside job does me good too. So.
Oh, great. Well, Joel, hopefully we can bring you back into the studio. We don't have a lot of time because the World Wide Web, there's 60,000 viewers on the web last year. But another thing that's happened in the last year is we've lost a great friend of ours, Joanne Kumeroa, who had a lot of mentoring with you, and that's another thing that's gone by. So there's some aroha there for Joanne and her family.
Yeah, it was very sad to see the great master, world champion Joanne, an idol to a lot of us, pass away. But you know, she's still here with us with her woolhandling skills that she's passed down through you know, her time, and I think that's absolutely wonderful to see it still coming through in the majority of woolhandlers.
Okay, Joel, thank you very much, and we hope to get you back into the studio at some time. Thank you very much, viewers.
Cheers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, senior shearing heat.
He retired a true champion, but the year has been good for you. 15 finals and 14 wins, and that's a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
Look, who is the guy that was that 15th? Who's the thorn in your side? Who was that person?
Oh, no, there's no thorn, but no, it was Nathan Shatford down at Balcliffe.
Well done, Nathan.
Yeah, it's awesome. Shot real well, and it was actually a great event and awesome sheep, and much like we have here today. Some beautiful big sheep and awesome.
Bag shot.
Bag shot, yeah.
We were at Pahia too the other day. It's not been done.
Thank you, darling.
Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely.
Way out west.
Thank you very
Way out west. Lovely toe tapping, knee slapping music. Well, Tuma, she's all go. A test match.
The Trans-Tasman.
A Trans-Tasman test match. The good old rivalry across the ditch.
Okay, let's get our teams up here, shall we? We'll
Let's do that.
get our teams up here and the managers. So if we could please have the Australian team up here.
And the New Zealand team up here, please. We'll yarn to the managers, and then we'll set them alight. What do they got to handle there, Tuma? I notice we've only got one table. Should we announce them?
CP Wools are the sponsor of this event. These wool handlers will be handling 4 merinos and 4 long wool fleeces.
Oh, let's do. Hey, the manager is Sam Saunders for the New Zealand squad. We have Joel Henneray as one of the wool handlers. He is a past world champion. He is your current Golden Shears champion. Cherie Alabaster is the other wool handler. She also is a past world champion and your current North Island Shearer, wool handler of the year.
Okay, well, I'm here with Dave Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Grant is the manager of the Aussie team. I'll just get Dave to
He retired a true champion, but the year...
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd just like to thank Masterton for the hospitality they've shown us over the last few days since we've been here. It's been very, very overwhelming. Everywhere we've gone, people have been fantastic, polite and very helpful. So thank you, Masterton. First of all, I've got mother of 2, Ange Wakely. She's represented Australia 3 times so far. Ange? We've got Rachel Hutchison all the way from Gilgandra, New South Wales. Mother of 3. Has been Australian champion 5 times, and this is her 5th time representing Australia as well. So, Rachel Hutchison, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks very much there. I'll hand you over to Sam Saunders. Would you like to say a few words? Did you hear the TAB odds? No, I haven't actually. We'll keep it a secret. It's only $1.25.
I'd like to welcome the opposition here. It's always a tremendous event, the wool handling. We've got Cherie Alabaster here. She's been on the Trans-Tasman 3 times, and Joel Henneray here. He's been in it 6 times, and they're both fierce competitors. And I'd like to wish everybody all the best.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Aussie team, they are I think they cleaned up last year, the whole thing, and I've got great confidence in our Aussie crew. How are you feeling about your team over there?
Come on, Kiwis, let's go. Right, let's get the action going. We know the answer to that. Sorry? Anton?
Could we have everyone outstanding? Please,
Yes,
we're going to play the Australian national anthem and the New Zealand national anthem. Australia first.
Australia.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ko Phil Darkins toko ingoa, ko Ngāti Pakeha, a Te Awa, a Ngāti Awa, ngā iwi. Kia ora tātou, kia ora whānau. E ihoa atua o ngā iwi mātaura. A ta whakarongona me aroha noa. Kia hua ko te pai, kia tātou a ta whai. Mana ki tia mai ao te aroa. God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shafts of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
Okay, Gerald will get off the stage. If we could have our shearers to the board.
Now we're ready.
4 merinos, 4 crossbreds.
Now, good luck, Cherie. Good luck, Joel.
15-second countdown between breeds, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be a 15-second countdown in between breeds. Johnny McBride.
Test. Righto, looks like it's awesome here. The test. Trans-Tasman, once again, hotly contested.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Everybody happy, the green light's on. All clear from the Woolhandling referee. Showing the wool handlers, of course, that their counter is on 0. Everybody's happy. Okay. Timekeepers are good. Shearers, set, go.
Rightio, thanks very much, John. Right, the merinos arrive, ladies and gentlemen. You'll know that the Aussies down there in the bright gold, you know they handle these sorts of sheep, these sorts of fleeces all the time. Could be their advantages in these 4 here. 4 of these to be shorn, 2 each. And then we're into the full wool ewes. That's more our home turf is when we hit those full wool. However, I remind you, if you didn't hear me when you're having a bit of a natter, and that's all good, we have 2 past individual world champions on our team, ladies and gentlemen. Joel Henry and Cherie Alabaster. Onto the belly wall they go. They've got to sort that belly wall. It's crucial that all wool handling's done exactly right. But this fine wool has a tremendous value. This is the stuff of its really good micron. Goes across to France to be made into special suits and the likes. So it's even more important to get it dead right. And once it goes from here, the judges on the board, of course, Tuma, we have the judges out the back. How's the Aussies going down there before the throws?
Well, just watching the way these wool handlers are working away with these shearers, they are very much at home. The merinos down here, they are quite big animals, aren't they, Gerald? You know, these merinos, they call them red eyes, don't they? Why are they called red eyes?
Fill me in there, Tuma.
I think it's because when they get angry, the shearers get red eyes from crying.
Aha. Could be 2. They also have all those wrinkles up their neck, those folds of skin, and they've got exceptionally soft skin when it comes to shearing. So hopefully the shearers will stay out of there. We don't want to have any skin in the wool either. As it's starting to peel off now, good teamwork, these two. Having a bit of a chat down there, very precise in what they're going to do. Eventually soon after another minute or so, they're going to be going for the throws. Well, they can't put 2 fleeces on this table. The table's grated for a reason, folks. And you can't sit one on top of the other. And you'll see this fluffy stuff will fall through those grates here. And that's why it goes across the table. It's one of the reasons why it goes across the table, is to get that fluffy stuff out. And yes, you know it does. It covers tennis balls. That's all it's good for. So that's got to be cleared. The other fleece, of course, is going to have to be sat on the ground unless they stagger themselves beautifully. And then they'll have to re-lift that and onto the table. Now remember, when they do these throws, Toomer, they've got to try stop the bunching up of the fleece, don't they? And don't have too much hanging off the side of the table. So we want it landing dead square.
Anything the size of an A4 sheet of paper that is either hanging off the table or bunched on the table, these wool handlers will get penalised for. There's different parts of the fleece that are, you know, like you've got the wool around the heads, that is not to touch the main line. They call that contamination. And look at these merinos, they've got nearly a full wool fleece just on the socks alone. So there's a lot of work in these fleeces, a lot of work for the shearers, just as much for these wool handlers. And all the shearers are coming down the last side. Just take a look down the board, shearers. We want you guys to finish at the same time. There will be a 15-second countdown in between breeds.
Here we go, Toomer. This is like when we're weighing the bales and pressing. This is a vital and important part. We want to hear you put your hands together if these fleeces land well. And I can tell you they won't be easy throwing. They're very loose, they're very big and very heavy. But your reigning Golden Shears champion is going to unroll it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right for a fleece like that. We've got a wee bit hanging over and a wee bit of bunching. But he goes to work. Cherie Alabaster, she's onto the board. Has to clean that board. The shearers are not to wait. They come piling out just like a real 8-hour, 9-hour shearing day. Look at the fineness, they're sneaking around here. How are your girls going, Tim? Are they skirting heavy or not? Because over here we're just taking the smallest little fraction bits off as possible.
No, these young Aussie wool handlers, they're working away. Teamwork is the name of the game. You know, there's no I in team. And that's how these wool handlers roll. They both need to get there. They've got a fleece on the floor, Gerald, and that fleece needs to be processed as well. You can't just chuck that in a fadge. That needs to be processed. So there's a lot of pressure on these wool handlers because look at the shearers. The next belly has come out. That's a typical wool shed situation. You know, these poor old wool handlers, the shearers make all the mess and these poor wool handlers have to deal with it. I think that's a bit hard.
Well, Joel Henry, look, it's got to be nice and compact. He's really knitted that together, rolled it up really tight like a puffer coat trying to get it into the wee carry bag. Now we've got some issues, but nothing to an experienced head like this. We've got to watch the crutch wheel up here, you New Zealand squad. 2 crutches arriving at a time. Joel takes action. He attacks the situation. We'll leave the fleece. We'll come back to that in a minute. They must not miss this crutch wool in and around the fertiliser works, the tail area. It could have a wee bit of stain on it, a wee bit of manure, a wee bit of dag. It's shorter stuff. It must come out. They'll get docked heavily for that. Here we go. Now we have to triple handle this fleece. He handled it from there to there, or Cherie did. He half picked it up. What's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? He gives it some air, bit of bunching at the top, but for a merino fleece, it's all good. Your table down there, Toomer, that's fleece 2 as well.
Yes, we've got the second fleece down here. The Australian wool handlers are working away nicely. You'll see one wool handler, they'll be at the board, and what they're doing is they'll be getting all that shorter cheek wool and stuff from around the head. That goes into one of these mini baskets that's around the place at the moment. We've got so many different lines of wool here that these wool handlers, you know, they need to have it in their brain which bin belongs to which, so you do not cross-contaminate any of the wool. But here we go, the shearers are all on the long blow, wool handlers working away nicely. These the girls in the green and gold are here. They look like they got things fairly much under control, but looks can be deceiving. But here we go, shearers turning to the last side. These wool handlers will need to get back, get that little short cheek wool so it does not contaminate the main line. And here we go, rolling up these fleeces. These rolls need to be nice, tight and compact. These wool handlers can lose up to 10 points just on the roll and on the way they place that fadge, the fleece into the fadge, Gerald.
10 points to the lot. You see the table must be dead clean as well. If not clean of a fleece, I mean clean. There's a wee bit hanging up here, but you see Joel went along and grabbed those little bits. A little bit of instruction onto the broom, Cherie. Like every good organisation, there has to be a chain of command at this stage. Joel's the leading hand. Cherie's in for the tidy up. The second fleece is arriving now on the board. Turner will do the 15-second countdown. The Golds are working very hard. This is their home ground. It's not their home turf, but this is what they really do know. Joel Henneray.
14.
Bit of bunching. How are we going down there, Turner, at your table?
12.
Go.
11. 10. 9. 8.
Come on, folks. You can still talk. There you go.
7.
Come on.
6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Okay, shearers, come out with the crossbred. Now the fun begins, Gerald. There's got to be no cross-contamination of fleeces. Ooh, how are we going to get on these wool handlers? There's wool everywhere. It's all over the floor. Oh,